Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 251 on my countdown to retirement, plus a catch up from yesterday, day 252. So, starting with yesterday, um, I went to Walmart to pick up some vitamin D3 plus K2 and some Rely On blood glucose test strips. My wife likes the specific Spring Valley 90 count of the D3K2, and it costs like $9.88. And that particular brand she's been taking for a while, and it's helped her dramatically improve her bone health as measured by bone density tests. So since she's been taking that, her bones have gotten much more, I'm going to say rigid. That's not the right word, but they've gotten, where before there was, some problems, whether it was osteopenia or whatever, but she's been able to reverse, and she's had her doctors double check the numbers, but she's been able to reverse the conditions she had by taking this particular brand. Anyway, we went there to get that. I was able to pick up my blood glucose test strips, but they didn't have the brand that she wanted at Walmart. So she picked up, was it Nature's Valley? And so we were, she just didn't want to have to deal with it. So she figured that would be good enough. So we went to the checkout, and when we scanned them, it came in at $16.74 for 60 versus the $9.88 she normally pays for 90. So she was like, no, I'm not going to pay that. So she called one of the attendants over to void that portion of the transaction, which they did. And then went on our way and across the street to Lidl, where I planned on picking up one of the spiral sliced hams that they had advertised for 99 cents a pound. But I was too late. They had already sold out of everything. So I left empty-handed. So I'm one of those guys who doesn't like to get skunked when I go out shopping for things. And so the fact that we went to two places and couldn't get what we actually went out for just annoyed the daylights out of me. So because of that, I decided to fight the rush hour traffic and go all the way across the other side of town to a different Walmart so that she could pick up the vitamins that she wanted. So we did that. And so while we were already over there, then I was like, okay, well, we're already on this side of town. Let's just stop by one of the franchised barbecue places, which is by us called Jim and Nick's. And so we start to head to Jim and Nick's, and I go down a road, and I get almost to the end, and then they're like, the road's closed. Take this detour. So they send me all over the place. And I finally end up making it, to the restaurant. We get in there. My wife orders, chicken finger basket or something. And then I had 1 pound rib dinner. And I got the ribs, and they looked fantastic. I mean, way better than usual. And so I was like psyched. Then I bit into them and found that in addition to the bone, there was, I don't know, I'm going to call it like 1/4 inch of cartilage that was running down the middle of the ribs. Anyway, I couldn't cut through it. It made it really challenging to eat. I even got the waitress to go get me a steak knife to see if I could cut it off around where it was. Didn't work very well. Anyway, the food itself tasted very good. It was just challenging to eat. So anyway, I did that. Then, headed home. Got caught in a rainstorm. Just by the time I got home, it was about the time I normally do videos, and I just was not in the frame of mind to talk to you guys last night. It just wouldn't have come across correctly. So I didn't make a video last night. But before I went to bed, I roasted a chicken, and then I deboned that chicken and threw the carcass into my crock pot along with some water to let it slow cook overnight to make chicken broth. So that's how I ended my night for day 252. Then I woke up this morning early because I had meetings with my colleagues in Latvia. So before that call, I removed the chicken carcass, discarded all, the pieces, strained the broth through a very fine cheesecloth, and then I added in a matzo ball soup mix to that, put that on the stove, brought that to a boil, let it simmer for a while before my meeting. Then I turned off the heat, went out and had my call, and then I came back afterwards, divvied up um, the soup into three 1 quart mason jars, and then let that sit on the counter for a little bit on a cooling rack while I had my next meeting with my colleagues in the UK. Then after that meeting, I moved the soup on cork heat pads into my refrigerator I have out in the garage that I use for storage. Let it cool down out there, and then after my meeting with the UK team, I had a meeting with my North America team, then my Argentinian team, and once all those meetings were done, I grabbed my wife. Well, no, I ran over to Costco and picked up St. Louis ribs and a chuck roast. That's what I went for. And as it turns out, the ribs didn't ring up at the proper price. So then I had to go over to customer service, spend 10 minutes over there while they did the math to figure out the savings that I was supposed to get and give me a credit back on my charge card. Came home, put that stuff away in the fridge and freezer, and then grabbed my wife because I needed to make a Costco run because I ran out of eggs, and eggs at Publix are over $7 for 18. They're just shy of $7 at Costco, and they're under $6, like 5.80 something, I think it is. At sorry, they're just under $7 at Kroger, and at Costco they're like 5.80 something for 18. And I usually buy 36, so I wanted to go and save the money. And I also needed to pick up some other stuff while I was there. But while I was there, they were running a special on the Home Defense pest spray. So they had a double package of that for less than $30. And since I just canceled my pest service, I picked that up. That stuff's supposed to last for a year. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it a try and see how it works out. But I was amazed. I went to the meat section and I haven't bought, like I usually buy New York strips there. I haven't bought them in probably 6 weeks, I'm going to say. Well, the last time I bought them, they were $11.49 a pound, and I didn't really appreciate paying that for them. Today they were $15.99 a pound, and I was like, no way, that's got to be prime, but it wasn't. It was choice, and I went and started looking at all the other meat prices, and it was just crazy. So I was like, well, I'm not buying any meat here today, so I didn't. But I did pick up the eggs, and I picked up an extra thing of the Kerrygold butter that's still on sale, and my wife picked up some stuff that she needed. So that was fine. One thing I forgot to mention that I got at Costco was a Kohler, what do you call those things? Multifunction hand shower that we wanted to put in our guest bathroom. So it was something on sale. I have a Moen in our master bath, but my wife really wanted to have a hand wand type shower thing in the guest bath. So we picked that up and I installed that, and I think start to finish it didn't take me like 15 minutes. And the only thing I had to go get was a wrench to be able to get the existing shower head off because it was really on there. And other than that, I could did everything else just hand tightened, worked good. So no complaints. So anyway, and then after Costco, I swung by Publix and I was able to pick up some of the mild and hot sausages that I like from there. They also were running a special on Publix Italian subs. So my wife and I each got a whole sub for $6.99. And then what did I do? Yeah, I came home. I came home. I ate the sub for lunch. I watched a little bit of CNBC's Closing Bell because we didn't get home until after 3. Um, then I then I added then I took the broth that was in the fridge out, heated that up, added some chicken in, made the actual matzo balls, which takes about 15-20 minutes to make those. Dropped them in the soup and then let the soup cook for probably 45 minutes just to make sure that they had absorbed all the liquid and puffed up the way that they normally do, so they'd be light and fluffy. Then I ended up having that for my dinner. My wife's got, had one bowl, and then she was going to have half of her sub she didn't have for lunch. And later on, I might, if I get hungry, I might make myself a grilled cheese sandwich or something just to go along with the soup. And then I called a friend of mine who I haven't seen in about a month and a half. Talked to him and his wife. Set up a lunch date for tomorrow at a Mexican restaurant that we both like that has steak fajitas on sale at lunchtime. So we're going to go grab some fajitas tomorrow. And yeah, that's really about it. So that's my update for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I look forward to talking with you tomorrow when I do my Saturday financial update. But until then, have a great evening and take care.